It's Monday, September 7th, and this is Venice. This is the Bridge of Sighs. And there are some people taking a nice gondola ride this morning. This is Monday morning, and as you can see, it's a beautiful morning, but look at all the people. San Marco Square is ahead, but I just thought I would show you what is happening here in Venice on Monday morning. A lot of people are up there on the bell tower this morning. It's a beautiful, clear morning. As you can see, the clock says it is 10:55 in the morning. The man on the left is hitting the clock at the moment. But just to be sure, we have 3 clocks. The gentleman at the top, the clock I showed you previously, and last but not least, the celestial clock. I'm in the Campanile, which is the bell tower in Venice, at the top of the square. I'm at the top of the tower in the square. It's beautiful, lots of views from up here. More views from this beautiful city. Now I am on the island of Murano, where they make Murano glass. I never knew about Murano glass till I came to Italy, but apparently it's a very fancy kind of glass. I just purchased a lovely angel in this store. This gentleman makes the glass. I just took his picture, and now he's giving Jonathan some directions. This is a perfect day for movies. And we're still on the island of Murano. This is an example of a beautiful church we found just walking along, and it's very modest from the outside, but quite elaborate. It's late in the day, and you can see it is still a very busy place with lots of souvenirs. I am very suspicious of where they came from. I don't think they're from here, but it's still beautiful, and these palaces are all so classic Venice. But Jonathan is trying to find out how to get the boat to the next island we're visiting today, and it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Let me see if I can find him. There he is. Can you see him? This is the square. Beautiful day, Tuesday, and we decided to come back and explore a little more. So here we are, trying to take the ultimate picture of this beautiful palace, since this is the second time Jonathan and I have been here today.
There's sitten aika lujakaan.
At the top we have the four evangelists, Matthew, Mark, and then this beautiful top, Luke, and John. Jonathan finally got his pizza. We came here specifically because we remember this pizza from many years ago, and he's enjoying it immensely. And here are people on the gondolas. It's a minimum of 30 minutes, and the gondoliers are not allowed to talk to you. And the last time I did a gondola, it was snowing. This is much nicer, but I'm not interested in doing this again. But there they are, the parade of gondolas. And here's another one. They just keep coming and coming. There they go, down the canal, all in a little row. Oop, that guy's having a little problem down there. This is Piran. It's a beautiful day again. This is the square in Piran. It's very beautiful, very clean. Here's another view of Piran. A beautiful red roofs. They can't have cars in the city because none of the streets are wide enough to accommodate a car. The boulevard, that they call it the boulevard, is only about 6 people wide. We're at Padna in Slovenia, and we've just had some tastings of very good wine, cheese and prosciutto, and pastries. Very good. We're walking along, going to a market to eat some food. So we are in Koper, Slovenia, and this is the bell tower that is attached to the Cathedral of the Assumption. This is Tito Square, and over here is the Loggia, a palace. As you can see, our ship is down here. And 1 block from our ship is the square. It's as if the square was built for the ship. Quite convenient. And here's the clock that will keep us on track for what time we're supposed to get back to the ship. We won't have time today, but this looks like a lovely place to have a cup of coffee on the other side of the square, across from the Loggia. This is a very famous bridge. At least famous here. It's built to look like the Rialto Bridge in Venice. I don't know if I pronounced that right, but it shows the Venetian influence on the city. And here's some more of the buildings that are graffiti-free for the most part. Now here's what you'd call a little pied-à-terre. I'm sure there's a lovely view. And you get to see the bridge too. Some of the shops in this square have been fixed up, while others are yet to be remodeled. But I think these doors imply that that could be in the making. And here is Jonathan, my photographer, working away. On our way back, we found Carpaccio Square, our final destination for Koper today. Koper is definitely walkable and charming worth a meal here or a coffee in one of their coffee shops. This is Novigrad. We've just taken a 45-minute bus ride from the coast. We are in Croatia today, visiting Zadar. But this is called the hinterland, or as our guide called it, the boonies. The boonies. I'm at the famous pipes in Zadar, and in the background maybe you hear them. A gentleman designed these pipes because of the beautiful sunset you can see from here. You can actually hear the pipes. This is our ship, and right at the ship is the sea organ. This is the Roman remains. This is the highlights of Zadar. This is the square. This is the main shopping street of Zadar. Jonathan noted there are many ATMs on this street. Here is one right by the jewelry store. Zadar, as they say, looks like a nice place to spend a day or so. It has lots of things to see. Old, going back centuries. New. I don't care about all the new stores. They're all the same everywhere, but at least they give you a sense of what? I don't know, normality? It's Friday the 13th, and this morning we're in Dubrovnik. It's 7:30, and by 10 o'clock it's going to be 80 degrees. As you can see, the sky is clear, and we're going to be here about 12 hours. I'm in the center of the square, and it may not look it at this point, but the crowds in Dubrovnik rival the crowds in Venice. You can hear the bells. I can say the crowds range from challenging to overwhelming. Definitely overwhelming for me because I'm short. And if you can see, this is what changed Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik is a city of 43,000 residents, of which 90% work in tourism, and the rest of them support the people that work in tourism. In other words, the economy is all based on tourism. They have, I suspect, millions of visitors. But Dubrovnik is a beautiful city with plenty to see. So we will continue our adventure and walk the wall. We are walking the famous wall of Dubrovnik. It takes an hour and it's about a mile, but it is so hot and sunny. We'll see how far I go. But here are the views they promised. And on a clear day, they're beautiful. And here are the crowds I told you about earlier. This is a great view, and these are light. Earlier it was much heavier before a huge cruise ship left. The wall is very high, and for someone like me, it's challenging. Fear of heights. But it's worth it. This is a great view of the fort. And the number of tourists is extremely limited. That's a relief. This is a section of the wall where people are dining and people are even swimming. This is a famous bar. These are the people below the bar. That's built right into the wall. You can see as I go up how high the wall is where I just came from. During 1991, 60% of the city was bombed. What survived was carefully preserved and the rest painstakingly reconstructed. The brown roofs are the original roofs and the orange are the reconstruction. This is Kotor, K-O-T-O-R, and it's another beautiful day in the low 80s. What I want to show you is this wall. I heard about it on YouTube. Audrey and Sam climbed this wall. They went up to this church. Then they continued up to the tippy top. I had thought that Jonathan and I would do this, but we didn't. A little bit much for our short day. At least that's what we told ourselves. We did take a tour of the old town. It's going to be in the mid-80s today, and unfortunately a ship of 2,300 people have docked in this town that looks to be about as big as 4,000. For a small medieval town, there are many churches. This is an Orthodox church with a beautiful altar inside. Kotor, a wonderful blend of medieval architecture and shopping. Here's some boots, but Jonathan just reminded me maybe I can find him on Zappos. We're sitting in a cafe trying to get waited on. That's a bit difficult in Kotor, considering that we're here. Everywhere we've gone, this is about the third place. There's like one waitress, and they don't really rush to get you any particular thing. We finally got our beer. A truly Montenegro beer. How do you say it? How do you say it? No, with the name of the beer.
Nick.
Nick. Okay, Nixico. Whatever. So this is Corfu. I'm shooting this from the boat. It's a very beautiful day, but a bit hot. This is the Palace of Ascalon. It's nice, but it has had a lot of history, and the garden definitely needs a little work. All of these places are very crowded, but at this point, this is very light. It's Sunday morning in Corfu. This is the main street. Just down there is Jonathan taking his pictures. And here are more of the shops. Oh, what do I see right here? But it's not as traditional as some. It isn't crowded today. It's Sunday, so we have a little bit of a break from the crowds. We just spent some time in this museum that showed life in the early 19th century. This building is kind of typical. You would have to call Corfu charming because most of the buildings are in disrepair and often need a coat of paint. There are many, many shops in Corfu. It would be hard to say which of all the island Adriatic cities we visited have the most shops per square foot. And of course, these are all rather like clothing, souvenirs, and that's about it. Me, I look for pastries. There are no shortage of cars or traffic in Corfu either. Not like the islands where cars weren't allowed. Just another example of more shops. Just another example of all the shops that they have. Many, many, many. Going down all the way to the street and all the other streets. Try to avoid a few people so you can see all the lovely items that you might want to buy when you come here. Oops.
Are you from US?
Everybody he finds in any country, he will tell them about the Steelers. Yes, I make movies. Traditional Greek sandals. We decided to stop at this lovely cafe for a lunch. The only problem with cafes in Europe is sometimes you may find yourself near a cigarette or a cigar. And this is the one time I'm going to take a picture of our food. Now, here is one beautiful shrimp dish. What do you think, Jonathan? Do you think you'll like your lunch?
Oh yeah, absolutely. My favorite things.
This morning we are in Katakolon, Greece. And we are going to see the site of the first Olympiad that was held in 776 BC. And the tourists have come, all ages, young, old. This is an extensive excavation of Greek ruins that began in the mid-1800s and has continued since. So I have arrived at the Olympia, dating back to 776 BC. We've just witnessed a few gentlemen competing. And this is where they light the torch. This is inside the Archaeological Museum at the Olympiad. Well, this is beautiful Santorini. This is the morning of our last stop before Athens. And there are 3 big cruise ships. There's a couple of the cruise ships way out there. Here is some pictures of Santorini. It's going to get trickier and trickier. This is only 9 in the morning and there are many tourists here. There are 22,000 people on the island of Santorini and 500 churches. I'm wondering if they're trying to build another one up here. Here's a picture of the hillside with all these white houses. Made me muse about what the penalty is for graffiti here. And I can add that besides the 4 million tourists, there are 12 million gift shops. But some of them are rather unique. It's 9:45, and here come the visitors. This is just the beginning. So if you're planning on moving around in Santorini, you better do it quick. I better take this picture because it'll probably be one of the few times there'll be only 2 people in front of this church. And for the rest of the day here, this is the line back to the boat. You can't really see the end, but I thought I'd record this because this is one of the beauties of Santini. So where am I?
Santorini.
Santorini. This is Santorini, the best and the worst of Santorini. The best is it's pretty. The worst is you may smell a lot of donkey poo all day long. And here we have the Santorini Modern Art Museum. Finally on the cable car, and here's some final views of Santorini. We waited in line for 1 hour with these lovely ladies you can hear behind me. It is Wednesday, and this morning we are at the port of Athens. Ships in port, so there will be thousands of tourists climbing the Acropolis. See you there. This is the Plaka district, well, it's the shopping area. And we're not staying too far from here. It's the downtown cafe section. And look what I see up ahead. Ah, yes. A necessity in any city. Our walk is continuing on. It's a lovely path. So far, I think I am really going to like Athens. We've just finished lunch at this lovely restaurant. Jonathan just spotted this high place. So it looks like I'm going to have a lot of climbing to do. This is Hadrian's Arch, right in the middle of the city, as you can see. There are many archaeological sites in Athens because there are thousands of years of possible digging. I've discovered it's nice to record the rooms so I can remember. There's getting to be too many rooms in too many cities. I like this bath. I have a tub. But I especially like this mirror. The lighting's good, and considering how tired I am, I look better than I think I should. Back to the bathroom after taking 50 selfies. The toilet, nothing too remarkable, except a lot of the toilets are square in Greece. And a big coffee pot. The Greeks do like their coffee. We chose the upgrade for 40 euros more a day. This, they said, would have a view. Well, we do, in truth. You can see the Acropolis way out there. And here is the city, all bright and shiny. And Jonathan's going to enjoy looking at all the bathing beauties down there. There's only a couple right now. We are waiting for the changing of the guard. It is Friday, September 19th. This is the changing of the guard. And here come the guards that are being replaced. These guards are specially selected for their height and their physique. All men in Greece are required to serve 1 year. On their 18th birthday, they are drafted. They stand in the hot sun, rain, in these uniforms that have a lot of meaning. And here come the other guards. Meeting the other guards. And now, the guards.
Look.
Oh my. impressive. It is Friday morning and we are working our way to the top of the Acropolis. We have reached our destination. This is a view of the city from the Acropolis. Looks like they're going to have some kind of performance. I think those are cushions in those bags. Imagine a performance from the theater, an ancient theater, thousands of years old. And this is the Acropolis at 9 in the morning. Not an easy picture to get, just the Acropolis without people. And here we have the parade of the tourists going up, up, up to the top of the Acropolis. It takes a while, but the imagination finally comes into focus to think of how beautiful these buildings were centuries ago when they were first built. The Archaeological Museum yesterday had models of what they used to look like. And that helped a lot. I'm fascinated by these ladies. They were wine bearers, libation bearers, as they said in the write-up. Being on a tour and being a photographer are incompatible because the tour inevitably wants to move along when you're trying to get pictures. There's an ebb and flow to the crowds. And what you're constantly trying to do is getting them on the flow and the ebb, between the ebb and the flow. And this is early in the day, so the crowds are lighter than they will be later. They just keep coming, coming. It's nice to share the Acropolis with 2,000 of my new very best friends. And I gave them all my YouTube channel. I'm waiting for a sunny moment. I saw it a second ago so I could get the sun on this beautiful Parthenon. But maybe this will just have to do. Now that I'm actually here, I can really feel the magic of this place and almost imagine what it might have been like to live here and see this temple in all its glory centuries ago. The sun's out and it's starting to get warm, and here's a panorama of the city. Of this temple. This is the Dionysian Theater. We're headed to see these next buildings, the Agora, and then we're going to make our way to another temple, but this one's in better shape. This is the temple of Hephaestus, but we don't know who Hephaestus was. Yeah. This is the Temple of Ares. We don't know where we are, but it looks like a lot of fun. John is kind of grooving to the music. And I can always look in the windows of the shops. Lunch at a cafe in Athens in the Plaka district. Now, how good is that? I am in the middle of the Athens shopping district. It's kind of like a big mall. And there at the top is the Acropolis again. And we now are trying to find our way home, but a very nice policeman in the train station helped us out. We have definitely found the place that Athens eats. Row and row and place after place of people eating all kinds of Greek food. Many, many people. Definitely a busy afternoon in Athens shopping district. With a little church right down the way. There's some beautiful views of London outside the Globe Theatre. Since it's car-free day, meaning no cars in the city, we took the underground from the hotel. There was a very nice man there helping us figure it all out, and then crossed the Millennium Bridge in the rain. But it all worked out. I'm in St. Paul's Cathedral. It's quite beautiful. Amazing. This is the dome in the center of the cathedral. And all around the dome is a beautiful decoration. Bringing you down to the altar. Herod's Food Hall is famous, glorious, and the service is impeccable. I am now going to the pastries. You won't believe how beautiful they are. There are some truly elegant pastries here. Perhaps I should test a few. Probably good etiquette to take something to the Queen since we're going there for tea today. But choosing the appropriate delicacy is difficult. Well, we finally found the dining hall. It's lovely, it's elegant. Every place has a specialty. They have a grill, pasta bar, fish bar, all kinds of places to sit and eat. Lovely ceiling, beautiful store. Harrods is definitely something special. Well, this evening we came in to find this. Oh, a little hard. Aziz, the gentleman who's been servicing our room for the last 2 days, he's given each of us not only a separate little tissue box, but 3 waters. Now here is an extra special surprise. This is only the second time in all of our travels we found a heated toilet. I thought they were just specific to Japan, but no, here in London, in the Churchill Hyatt Regency, is a heated toilet. Jonathan has evaluated the difference between the Japanese installation and the British installation and found that they're very similar, but you have to be careful of the oscillator. It will give you quite a spray, but it does have temperature controls, directional controls, heat, and as I said, different styles for the spray.